Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is June here, and if you are new, welcome aboard. I'm so happy to have you. Remember, this is a channel where we talk about people, places and pages, and I think maybe even planners now. So if that's your kind of thing, please do consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that, and remember to hit that like button as well. I know I have been putting up a lot of travel content lately. That's because, you know, they've been piling up and I thought I better get them out as soon as I can. But do not worry, I have been reading, even though I've not been putting up my bookish content. But you know what? Let's dive back straight into this. In this episode, I'd like to share with you my thoughts on this book, Phoebe Will Destroy You by Blake Nelson. This is a coming-of-age story that immediately grabbed me because of its title. I mean, number one, who's Phoebe? And every time you mention that name, Phoebe, you tend to think about Phoebe from Friends, right? But Phoebe Will Destroy You. So I'm trying to picture that Phoebe who is a bit kooky, and then the word destroy. Destroy in what way, right? Like, are you gonna set a place on fire, or are you going to destroy someone by ending them? Anyway, so who is Phoebe and how is she going to destroy someone? And that expectation really shaped the way I read the book. And you're constantly on the edge, waiting for Phoebe to do something dramatic, you know, waiting for her to do something so big. But that's the thing, you know, I kept expecting Phoebe to do something. It's actually a lot more subtle than that and emotionally complex. So that might work out for some people, but not for everyone, I'm afraid. So here's the story. The main character is Nick, a 17-year-old who has just finished his junior year and is desperate to take a break from his stressful life. His mom, while on the outside, you know, looks like a great mom. Really, she is a professor and is an author of a best-selling book. But unfortunately, she is also an alcoholic and she got involved with another man. Not his dad, clearly. So as you can see, things are pretty chaotic at home. So he decided, or I think his parents decided, that he should spend his summer with his uncle instead. And that is how Nick ends up spending his summer in Seaside, Oregon, a quiet beach town that promises a slower pace, newer experiences, and just a chance for him to breathe and get away from all the stress at home. He works at his uncle's car wash, which is where he meets people who will shape his summer and eventually, ultimately, his growth. I have to say, Nick is a good sport for putting up, you know, for willing to work in a car wash, because he's in a way from the big city and then now he's going to some small town. And he doesn't complain, you know, I think he does try to please everyone. So in that way, I kind of figure like he's not a bad kid. He's just a little bit lost, and you know, with things going the way they are at home, he's just trying to figure out life and his place in it. Then comes Phoebe. Now, this is a local girl who is known for her, let's just say she has a reputation, okay? And you know what? Every school, every town, you know, has one of these, okay? She is funny and she is attractive in her own way. And Nick feels that she is very drawn to her. While she is pivotal in Nick's emotional journey, she doesn't dominate the plot, despite the fact that she's given, like, her name is in the book title. However, Nick gets more and more attracted to her. I would say it would be bordering on being obsessed with her. Possibly because she is like very different from what he's used to in his sort of straight-laced life. But she's also confusing him, kind of like she's showing interest, but then she holds back a little bit. So it just makes it very hard for him, because he's all in and he wants to know if she feels the same way. That's, you know, the complexity of teenage life, I guess. Throughout the book, you are sort of left asking, why is Nick so drawn to Phoebe? If you kind of think back of your days when you were high school, right? Like some of us are like girls or guys, you might be attracted to a bad boy or a bad girl. You know what I mean? The girl that everyone warned you about, or the boy that everyone warned you about. Okay, so there is that attraction. Like, you feel so drawn to this person or this character, and I think that's probably what Nick is going through. He's looking for a companion just like all of us, and looking, I suppose, to be accepted. The themes that are being explored in this book include things like teenage crushes, friendship, substance abuse, especially drinking. I appreciate how realistically the author has presented some of these characters, and how, you know, as a teenager, how easy it is for us, not us, because I'm not a teenager anymore, and how easy it is for teenagers to be sort of drawn into these destructive habits, either because we want to be accepted, or maybe we're just plain curious. And if you don't have the right support and the right guidance, I mean, I think it could lead you into a very dangerous path. For me, I found Phoebe Will Destroy You to be a smooth and really very easy read. The writing flows quite naturally. I find that the dialogue, you know, does feel authentic. I may not be a teenager, but I do think that's how they sound like these days. So it's a book that you can easily probably finish in a weekend. But I do have to admit that the tension surrounding Phoebe does not really take off. So you spend a lot of time in the story expecting something really major, something dramatic or life-altering connected to her. After all, like I said, her name is in the title of the book, and she's supposed to destroy someone. So I'm afraid, sorry, it doesn't quite happen. I checked online as well, and I find that many reviewers have noted the same thing. Phoebe features in the title, but not as dominantly in the story as you might anticipate. So I think that's a fair comment. Though, you know, to be fair, it didn't really ruin my experience. You know, after a while, I sort of like, okay, fine, if that's the way it's going to be, I'm just going to keep reading and see what happens in the end. Yeah. But by the end, I'm afraid I'm not entirely sure what to make of Phoebe. I mean, I have some ideas, but I won't spoil it here. What I can say is that she clearly has gone through some struggles of her own, or maybe is still going through some struggles, and maybe seeking comfort in all the wrong places and with the wrong people. She feels, to me, slightly jaded for her age, and that could be attractive to a young teenage boy. Like, it's a, you know, like, it's this girl, she might appear to be a bit more worldly, and that might be attractive to someone like Nick, perhaps. I think the title of the book might be a little bit deceiving. So this is actually pretty much Nick's journey, and Phoebe just happens to play a part in it. And if you approach the book this way, you should be fine. Overall, it's still worth a read. Like I said, engaging. If you want something that it's not going to be too taxing on you, yeah, over a weekend, yeah, you'd be fine. So the story left me thinking that maybe there could be a sequel that would involve Phoebe a little bit more. Who knows? But then again, by the end of summer, by the end of vacation, Nick does go back home, so I don't know if there's any opportunity for their relationship to continue, but there are other characters there, and they are mentioned towards the end to remain connected. While I did enjoy the book, I did feel a little let down because I think it did not deliver the tension that was promised by the title. If you had read this book, please drop me a comment and let me know what you think. That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed the video, and give us a thumbs up even if you didn't enjoy the video. After all, it doesn't cost you anything. I would really appreciate it, and good karma will definitely come your way. Until I see you again, remember to be kind and be brave. Ciao!